hosting us. Everyone who's joining us on live stream, thank you for doing that. My name is Josh Fryday. I'm the Chief Service Officer for the state of California. How cool is that California has a Chief Service Officer? And it is a really exciting day to be here in Monterey for our organization, California Volunteers, and for Governor Newsom, who has really invested in creating more service opportunities for our young people. And today we are here to kick off, and it is very exciting to be able to do this. The Californians for All Youth Jobs Corps here in Monterey County, and we have so many of our young people. Let's give them a big round of applause. We have our young people who have stepped up to serve our communities in such meaningful ways, and we're here to say thank you to them. We're here to encourage more people to apply to this program, to be a part of it. But this is a program where the state of California, and it's a true state and local partnership. The state of California, thanks to the leadership of two of the senators that are with us today representing this area, and the governor, have invested $185 million across the state to engage young people on serving their community, to create real meaningful jobs that pay well, that have wraparound services, that have training and certificate programs, but also are in the benefit and the service of the entire community. And our hope is that it's something that helps young people, it helps the community, but also it helps us to tackle some of our biggest problems that we have: food insecurity, climate change, environmental stewardship. And this program, which is a statewide program, but which we are especially honored to be partnering here in Monterey with the County of Monterey, where we're investing $2.8 million to hire young people here in Monterey. We know that the impact it's going to have on not just young people, but on the entire community, which is why we're here to celebrate today. And I want to say thank you. I want to say thank you to our senators who made this program possible in the legislature, Senator Laird, Senator Caballero, for your leadership. I want to thank the supervisors that are here. We're going to get a chance to hear from Supervisor Adams here shortly, but I know she has other colleagues as well in our partnership with the county. I also want to thank the state parks. We're going to hear from Dan Jaw, who leads state parks here locally and is an important partner in this program, but also especially to our young people. And really, as I said before, from the governor's perspective, from us at California Volunteers, we see this program, the Californians for All Youth Job Corps, as a win-win-win. It's a win for our young people who are going to get a good job, they're going to get a chance to serve in their community, they're going to get a chance to contribute, they're going to get a chance to pursue their passion, which is what we heard from so many of the young people, the chance to be outdoors, to learn new skills, to make new friends, and they're going to get a chance to, we hope, pursue a career in public service. It's also a win from the community, where the work that our members, our Jobs Corps members are going to be doing are going to be protecting our climate. They're going to be protecting us from fire. They're going to be helping us fight this crisis. They're going to be working in our food banks. They're going to be doing distribution to our low-income people of really important resources. So the impact is going to be felt, and it's a win for the community. And it's also a win for the entire state of California. Because now we are going to have a new generation of young people who are going to graduate from this program in Monterey. They're going to graduate in 6 months from this program with the experience of working with people from very different backgrounds, with different perspectives, and understand how to come together and solve problems, whether it's how to work a chainsaw line correctly, or how to compost, or how to solve other community problems. They're going to have that experience. And more importantly, we hope, selfishly, we hope that these young leaders are going to be inspired to continue to pursue a career in public service. Because the truth is, and this is a little secret we have to let all of our young people in on, the truth is we need you. If we're going to solve the big issues facing our state, climate change, food insecurity, growing inequality, if we're going to actually solve these problems and tackle them, we need your energy, we need your passion, we need your experience to be able to step up and help us solve these problems, because you can. And we value what you have to contribute. That's why we're investing in this program. We value you. And so we need more of your colleagues, more of your friends to continue to step up and be a part of programs like this. And if we think about not just this program, the Youth Jobs Corps program, but if we add this and the family that you are now all part of and creating as being part of this program, if we also add that to the College Corps program, that the state has created to create debt-free pathways for students who are willing to serve for a year, including our Dreamers. And we add that to the country's first statewide Climate Corps program we've created, and all of our AmeriCorps programs. Over the next couple of years, you all literally are going to be part of a force, an army of young people twice the size of the Peace Corps. Here in California alone, in our communities, making a difference every day. That's real impact. That's how we're going to create the change that we need. And we were able to do that because of leadership like Senator Laird, because of leadership like Senator Caballero, who I would tell you for a fact, because I was a witness to it, fought hard in Sacramento to make sure that these resources, this money, came to rural communities and places like Monterey County. So we're here today because of your leadership, Senator Caballero. So thank you. So I'm going to conclude, and we're going to go on to hear from some other inspirational speakers by just saying thank you. Thank you for stepping up. Thank you for being part of this program. Y ahora algo para nuestras familias que hablan español. Youth Jobs Corps es un programa nuevo que ayudará a los jóvenes del condado de Monterey a encontrar empleo centrado en ayudar a la comunidad. El estado y el condado de Monterey estamos trabajando juntos para crear oportunidades para nuestros jóvenes. Felicidades, congratulations to you all, and now we just have to get to work. So now with that, I get the really distinct honor of introducing a leader who also shares, I think, my passion for these programs and for service and for an appreciation and acknowledgement for how important the work that you all are doing is, and that's your supervisor, Mary Adams.
Josh is a hard act to follow. I'm already inspired. I just wanted to take a couple of minutes to say thank you again. The program that you are about to enter, although actually you already are in, is just an incredibly new thing for our county and our community and our state. So it's a big thrill for me to be able to be with you and to have had a few minutes earlier to get to interact with you and hear from you and talk with you just a little bit. There are two people that I want to introduce in this room. Our county's program, as you well know, and you can see it on your t-shirts, or your shirts rather, is called the Green Cadre. And it's managed by the Monterey County Workforce Development Board here, led by two people that I want you to take a look at and make sure that, as we were talking earlier, get to know people and get their business cards. The first one is the executive director of the program, and that is Chris Donnelly. And the other person is the chair of the board, whose name is Eric Cushman. In addition to the volunteering that Eric does by serving on the Workforce Development Board as chair, he's also the editor or publisher of the most widely read newspaper in this area, the Monterey Weekly. So I do hope that you'll have an opportunity to get to know him as well. I don't want to take really much time because there are many people here much more interesting than I am to chat with you. I just want to just tell you that my whole career has been in the service sector, in the not-for-profit sector, and there are so many things that you learn that you will be learning. We had talked about two key words that are so important from the work that you'll be doing, and those two words are trust and resilience. And if there is anything, in addition to being able to learn how to do skills that will put you on the path to a good job that will allow you to stay here in our community, learning how to trust another person and learning the importance of resilience are going to get you everywhere. So now it is my total pleasure and honor to get to introduce to you Senator John Laird, our 17th.
It is a pleasure to be here, and Josh habla la lengua bastante bien. And it's good because in addition to being senators, Senator Caballero and myself were both cabinet secretaries in Jerry Brown's administration. And it was our job to get things done. We have reverted to the legislature where we set the policy, appropriate the money, and try to tell people how to get things. But we had to do it. And as somebody that was Secretary for Natural Resources, and we had fire and water, fish and wildlife, flood safety. We had a whole host of issues where we knew what we had to do, but there was a question about who was going to be on the ground actually doing it. And that's the exciting thing about this program, is it does career pathways. There's actually, you get paid money, but you get to be the people that sort of implement and deal with those issues that we all want dealt with. And, you know, and I was telling the group earlier when I had a chance to meet with you that when I was Secretary of Resources, I had fire, and the CAL FIRE chief said one year that when he started his career, a 50,000 acre fire was considered the biggest fire of the season. And in that year, it was June, which was about a third of the way through the fire season, and we had had 5 of them. And so it is changing, and it puts an urgency on fuels management and things with protecting fire. And we're right next to the ocean that's rising a little. And we're dealing with species that can't survive at the same level and sometimes can't survive at the same elevation and have to look for places to move to survive. And so as the climate is changing around us, it's up for us to figure out exactly how, on the ground, we best prepare, protect species and people, and do what it takes to implement the priorities that Senator Caballero and I are working to set at the statewide level. And additionally, I was a community college trustee before I was elected to the legislature. And and it's been 20 years, but I don't think we ever heard about community college students that had food insecurity. And I don't think we heard about community college students that had housing issues in the same way. And now they do. And when we were in the pandemic, we had to appropriate $300 million to food banks because you couldn't meet at all the food programs. And it was holding it together for people having food while that was going on. So you are going to be in the front lines of those issues while you're getting paid, while hopefully it's creating a career pathway for you to do things when you're done with the program. And even better of all, you're doing it here. So thank you. Congratulations on you being involved in this program. Congratulations on you making sure Monterey's doing it and the local partnerships. And I wish you every success and look forward to working with you as we attack these problems over time. Actually, Senator Caballero needs virtually no introduction. But she did fight for rural inclusion in this program, and we're excited for it, and you're probably here in part because of some of her efforts. Senator Ana Caballero.
Thank you very much for that great introduction, John. I appreciate it. So let me just say, it is true. My placa, my fame, and if you call it that, in the Senate is that no matter what the issue is, I want to know what's the impact on rural California. And why is that so important? Because my district is a 12 Senate district, and it is all rural. And the distances that people have to travel in order to get basic services is a lot. And if you don't have a car, then you're constantly depending on somebody to get you a ride, or you have to have, or you just don't get a ride, right? You can't get to where you need to go. So thank you for talking about rural California. It's near and dear to my heart, and I want to thank you all for joining this incredibly important program. What we know is that our world is changing, and it's changing so rapidly that what you will be doing today is probably not the same thing you're going to be doing 5 or 10 years from now. And I was talking recently with a group of staff, as it was, and we were talking about how different it is now to be in the business world than it was when I started my business. I have a law practice, and I had it here for 25 years. But when I left the office the staff had to look at my calendar to figure out where I was going, and then assume that that's where I was, because there were no cell phones, there were no computers, the typewriters had 36 lines of memory, and you used rotary phones to call, and you always carried in your pocket a dime, right? And that was for the payphone, so that you could call the office and go, I'm still stuck in court, I'm waiting, and I'm probably not going to be there for 2 hours. So I tell you that story because when I started my law practice and where we are right now is entirely different, and that's a long period of time, but the world is changing more and more rapidly. And so what I love about this program is you're going to get an opportunity to taste every single crisis issue in the state of California, whether it's people that are hungry, whether it's people that can't afford to rent their own place, and so they live in very overcrowded housing situations, which is why COVID was so dastardly in the farm worker community. We have these issues, whether it's climate change, sea level rise, wildfires. There are so many things, and in the Central Valley, it's valley fever, so that dust gets blowing and there's no water to water down the fields. That dust invades your lungs and creates a really, really bad disease. And so all of these things are things we're going to have to prepare for, look for, know how to deal with, and you're going to be on the forefront learning some really good skills, creating an opportunity to determine how you want to use those skills, and really helping our community. And there's really nothing better that you could do with your time and your energy. And as part of all of that, as has been mentioned here before, you're going to be earning a salary, which is a really good thing. All of us want sustainability in our community, which means that resiliency, which means that no matter what's happening, people can survive, and they do it in a way where they come together. And that's part of what I think this program provides us an opportunity to do, is to learn how to work together and to appreciate each other even though we're all different, and treat each other with respect. And so I'm really excited about it. I'm thrilled that one of the programs is here in Monterey County, and I look forward to hearing your stories after you've been in the program for a while, because I believe that your stories are going to encourage, and I encourage you to post on social media, right? And that's how you find out. I asked somebody, I'm involved in a campaign, so everything is campaign, but I asked somebody, so how do young people get their information? It's on social media. It's on social media. TikTok, that's what I was told. Oh my gosh.
Google is old now.
Yeah, well, it's one of those things, you know. But I appreciate that, because, yeah, TikTok. Then we have to do TikTok videos that talk about the things that are important, right? We have to talk about how can we all assume responsibility for climate change, and what are the changes we're going to make in our life in order to be able to accommodate that. And some of it's going to be inconvenient, like walking instead of driving a car. But we all can do it. But it takes us all working together. So thank you for sharing TikTok with me. I appreciate it. And thank you for joining this program. I'm very excited, and look forward to hearing your stories later. So now it gives me great pleasure to introduce Dan Shaw from the California State Parks Natural Resource Program Manager.
Woo!
All right, this is a little bit of a different day for a biologist. So I'm Dan Shaw. I'm the Natural Resource Program Manager for the Monterey District of California State Parks. And in state parks, we do a good job of talking about the past, telling about how our amazing public lands were protected, and how people have interacted with these lands over time. And really a good job in the present. Everybody has an opportunity to recreate, to go out and enjoy the fresh air, to learn about the plants and the animals in our parks. But we also have to be thinking about the future. California State Parks are for the future generations as well. And it's really hard work to maintain and protect these public lands, to be working on wildfire and forest resilience, to be looking at restoring dune habitats or figuring out how to protect biodiversity and accommodating great public recreation and juggling all that at the same time. And that's what the Green Cadre is going to be working on. We're going to be working on some of those challenges. And it's hard work. I think we've conveyed that, and there's some soreness from yesterday out there, I hear. But really important work for California State Parks. And you know, our director, Armando Quintero, says, you know, the future of state parks is in our hands. And really, I think that's it's intentional. And he means all of us. You know, everybody in California has a role to play if they want. It is this generation and the future generations that are going to build that path into the future. And so, you know, I was really impressed when I first met this group. Such an amazing, you know, set of questions, you know, from this, you know, concern about climate change and how these factors may influence our environment. From discussions about predators and wild pigs to integrated pest management, marine conservation and scuba diving, all of those things. And so I'm really excited to be working with the Green Cadre, you know, for our staff to be working together as we kind of venture down some of these pathways and see how much of this we can investigate and work on. And I know we're all going to be learning together. We're all going to be learning together as we do this. It's a new program for us as well. So I just really appreciate all of you. And I want to introduce Bobby Joe Garcia.
Hello, you guys hear me? Okay. My name is Bobby Joe Garcia. Just to put it out there, because I see that it's misspelled, it's Bobbiejoe. So just so y'all know. But good morning or good afternoon, everyone. I'm a lifelong resident of Greenfield, a politically active member of my community, and alum of Hartnell College and UC Santa Cruz, and most recently, a member of the Green Cadre. Like many folks my age, moving through this era of pandemics, climate-related disasters, increasing infringement on our rights, I was struggling to find opportunities that made me feel motivated for life. I was seeking a position that would not only feed my soul, but also contribute to local communities and local ecosystems. And I believe I found that, and so much more, with the Green Cadre. In the last 3 weeks, I've received various training, chainsaw, nail gun, power tools, OSHA, hazmat, and it's given me new skills and confidence, which I'm very grateful for. But my favorite part of this experience, honestly, has been the awesome folks that I've had a chance to meet and connect with. I truly feel a sense of community, support, and fellowship within the Green Cadre. And I'm thankful to all these wonderful people. For helping foster this space. Very much looking forward to continuing working alongside these folks and to help respectfully care for our local lands and further build community. So, thank you. And I'd like to introduce awesome Green Cadre member, Ronald Pasqua.
Hello. I'm good. Yeah. All right. Let me start off with the introduction. My name is Ronald Pasqua, born and raised in Salinas, California. Growing up, I really wasn't sure what I wanted to do in my future. I spent a lot of time in college changing my majors, and going into it was really difficult to figure out. A couple months ago, I found out about a different program with the workforce. It was the Facebook internship. We were to do digital marketing, and one of the projects we were doing was a poster for the Green Cadre. And one of the dreams I had was being a park ranger. You know, I love Curious George. He was real fun growing up. So I thought after the internship program, I would go into this. and so here I am today. Going in, I really had low expectations. I really thought it was going to be more of a cleanup on the side. But going more into the training, I realized that it's a lot more than that. She went through all the trainings, and it was really interesting what we've learned, and I find it exciting to know that I have these skills to use. I want to give an example of one of the projects we started, although it has been only like, what, 2 days? 2 days since we've done something. Yesterday, a small group of us went to Garapata. We cleaned up some brushes, and I was able to cut down a invasive species. I think it was the acacia tree? Yeah, the acacia tree. And that was something I would never expect to do. And going forward into the future, I really do enjoy doing this, and I really hope to make a career out of it. And as well as how Bobby Joe said, I'm with a great group of people, and I can't wait to keep working with you guys. So, yeah.
Let's hear it again for Ronald and Bobby Joe. How awesome is that? And I too love Curious George. And thank you all for being here. This is a wonderful day for us to celebrate. Dan, I appreciate you so much talking about the future, because that's why the state has made this investment and why our partnership with Monterey County is so critical. This is about our future. It's about your future. It's about our community's future. It's about the state of California's future. And you all give us so much hope that we're in good hands, that we are not powerless to take on some of these crises that Senator Caballero and Senator Lair talked about, that you are going to be on the front lines doing something to make a difference every single day for the next 6 months. And we are so excited to see the impact that it's going to have, not just in your lives and in your futures, but in the impact of our entire communities. So thank you so much, and I think now we're going to go do a TikTok video with Senator Caballero. Appreciate you all. Thank you. Appreciate you guys doing this.